Hello and welcome, dear children. Today we are going to study Standard 7th English, chapter number 4.2. The lesson's name is Unke, Munke, Timpetoo. This chapter, this story is written by Sigrun Srivastava. She is an Indian author of German origin. She has written over 25 books for children of all the ages. So let's get started. If you see the title of the chapter, Unke Munke Timpetoo, it doesn't make us understand exactly what it is. So the meaning of the title is not understood. But this lesson is going to be a very funny story. It's a story about a boy. His name is Rohan. And it's going to make us laugh definitely. Children, I just want to ask that when it's your birthday, definitely you want to make a wish, isn't it? You can think over what all wish you have in your mind. And we all tell our parents, isn't it? Whom do we demand? Yes, we demand our parents only. That I want a new bicycle for my birthday, you had promised me. Or you can ask that you were going to take us to McDonald's, you were going to take us for an outing, you were going to buy us a new airplane, a remote control plane, isn't it? So there are many demands, and when it's a birthday, yes, nobody can deny you, isn't it? So everybody is excited about their own birthdays, right? So in this story also, there's a boy whose name is Rohan, and he also wishes to have so many things for his birthday as his gift. So let's start. It will be a fantastic birthday this year, I said in a mocking tone. Mocking tone means what, children? Mocking tone means making fun of. All I will get is a pair of shoe and a hand-knitted pullover. I had asked for a table tennis. See what all he had asked? A pair of shoes. Then hand-knitted pullover. Now what do you mean by hand-knitted pullover? It's a sweater. You must have seen mama or your grandma weaving with 2 needles a sweater. Okay, so hand knitted pullover, in simple English we can call it as a sweater. And the third thing he had asked is the table tennis. Okay, this is the third thing he had asked. But do you think his mama is going to give him so many things? No. Mama said, but my mama said, it is totally out of question this year. Totally out of question means it is next to impossible. This year we cannot buy it for you. And when this incident had happened, his friend, Rohan's friend, who is Rohan's friend here? His friend's name is Munke. My friend Munke looked at me thoughtfully. Thoughtfully means thinking very, very deeply. Sometimes we also get lost in our thoughts, isn't it, children? When we are dreaming about something or we are thinking very deeply, we are very much attached to certain things like playing tennis or going out. In lockdown nowadays, you see that children are losing hopes, isn't it? They cannot go out and play. So we always dream or continuously think about when we are going out on the ground and play freely with our friends. So sometimes we get lost in our thoughts. So Munke also was looking at him, his friend Rohan, and he was very thoughtfully thinking about something. And after thinking, he went closer to him. You can see he drew a bit closer and said, well, Rohan, I don't say I believe in it, but my cousin said it works and there is no harm trying, don't you think? Trying what? I asked. Well, my cousin said, if you really want something badly, all you have to do is to run around a banyan tree at midnight and chant 17 times. Unke, Munke, Timpetoo. If you see here, children, Muk, his friend, okay, he is telling Rohan about his cousin, that how his cousin suggested him about a trick, about a magical trick, that you have to search a banyan tree. If you really want something very badly, no, desperately, if you want something, then you have to do this, search a banyan tree, and you have to say 17 times. Unke, Munke, Timpetoo. See, if anything you want, there is no easy way, isn't it? There's always a twist in a story. Nothing you get so easily. So, all this you have to do at what time? At midnight. What is the meaning of chant here? Chant means to repeat. So, what is the final conclusion? That you have to search a banyan tree, go at midnight, and go around the banyan tree, run around the banyan tree, and continuously you have to chant what? Unke, Munke, Timpetoo. You must have seen about or observed the game of kabaddi, children. In that also we chant one word continuously. That is kabaddi, 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 isn't it? The moment you stop chanting, you are out. So similarly here, what he is going to chant? He is going to run around the banyan tree and he is going to chant Unke, Munke, Timpetoo. I desperately wanted my wish to come true. Still I asked, why 17 times? And why at midnight? Don't ask me, replied Muk, who was my best friend. That is how it is done, I suppose. Why not try it? It would not do any harm. Here, the word desperately means seriously. See, Rohan had so many questions going in his mind, but since he seriously wanted his wishes to come true, Muk replied to all his questions that why you are stressing yourself so much? Anyhow, whatever we are going to do, it is not going to harm anybody. Next he says, I thought it was all nonsense. Besides, I couldn't think of any banyan tree in our neighborhood. There was one in old Mrs. Grover's garden, but who dared to enter her garden? Now you see, the next they are thinking about to find the banyan tree. Now where will they find the banyan tree? They couldn't find the banyan tree around. There was only one banyan tree nearby. It was in Mrs. Grover's garden. Now who's this Mrs. Grover? Yes, Mrs. Grover is their ex-principal. Okay, she had retired just 1 year before. And you know, when it is about principal, we all know how principals are, how strict they are. And yes, everybody is scared and frightened about strict people, isn't it? And principal is always one of them. So next he says, not me, and not at midnight. Mrs. Grover had been the principal of our school till last year. One look from her piercing pale green eyes was enough to silence bullies like Rinku Lal of class 10. So here's one example the writer has shared about Mrs. Grover, about the principal, that she is so strict that she doesn't have to do anything extra. Just one look of hers was enough for everybody to understand that we are supposed to keep silence. Here we can see the name of a girl. She is Rinku Lal. She is from class 10. How is she? She is very naughty. You can see the word used here, bullies. Bullies means the person who is very cruel to others, no? They play mischief around, trouble others. Such people are called as bullies. So, I had seen it happen even with my own eyes. So, all this who has seen, Rohan had already seen, and he knows how strict his principal is. Next he says, forget it, I said. However, the thought kept haunting me till the day before my birthday. and I just could not think of anything else. So they were thinking and thinking over and again, but lastly they said there is no way out, and finally they decided to do whatever the cousin of Muk had suggested, searching a banyan tree and going around it. So they decided we will do the same. Okay, I said to Muk, if you come along with me, I'll go to Mrs. Grover's garden tonight and do it. So finally he comes to a conclusion and he asks support from his best friend, that is Muk. He's asking help from Muk that, Muk, if you accompany me, I can do it, because he's also scared, no? And going at midnight is more scary. So he asked his friend to accompany him so that they both can go to Mrs. Grover's garden and do the needful. So that's all, children, for today's video. The remaining part of the lesson we shall continue in our next part. Thank you.